Now, the big secret to these that you really want to be looking out for with these, and you'll be looking out for this every single time now on every single map when you see this, is when you have a shamrock that spawns close enough to a window. It could even be a window like that. Close enough where you can not only jump down and vault without stagger, because it's close enough that it cancels your stagger when you land, but you can actually get the running vault. Go back. No, I guess. Can't make it around again? That'd be hilarious. I don't think I can. Yes! 3 vaults off of that shit. Woo! Of fucking Shame Hill. If these guides are helping you at all, make sure you subscribe, like, leave a comment. It helps more than I could even ever say. And make sure you go follow on Twitch. I'm probably live right now. And if you want to come hang out, we're always down to meet new people. I'll see you there. All right, it's Coal Tower. Also known as a great opportunity to teach people some drop vaults. So Coal Tower is another one of the Macmillan Estate Maps, which is interesting because a lot of people think there's a bunch of the different common tiles spawn on the 3 common areas, and they spawn in some of the other ones too. But Macmillan is one of the ones that has them all. The Coldwind Farms are missing a bunch of them actually. Coldwind Farms don't even have lane gyms, and Autohaven Wrecker has all the common tiles as well. So we have to go over a lot of the common tiles first, but before we do that, let's go over a lot of the main things you're going to look for in this map. This is the version number 1. And there are 2 versions of this now, and the main differences in the versions are basically just where everything is going to set, but all of the tiles are the exact same, and essentially what we're looking for is big setups like we have right here. This is a RNG setup you can get, and this is one of the strongest ones you can get looking into the stairs window, but just looking for stuff like that, and you're going to get different possibilities. The other one is very new, so I don't have too many examples of RNG. I have one absolutely ridiculously broken example of RNG you can get on the new Coal Tower. Pretty much broken RNG is going to look the same no matter what map you get it on. Other than that, on this version, you're going to have the actual main building right there on one side of it. Killer Shack is going to be on the opposite side of it, and there's going to be a bunch of common tiles in the middle and on the side and on the side. A lot of times you can find something that is ridiculously strong on that side and on that side, kind of similar to Thompson House was. You can get something that's strong every now and then back there, but not too likely, and Killer Shack every now and then is just, I mean, it's just Killer Shack, obviously, but you'll have a tile right there close enough to it where you can't chain it, but it's something where if you don't want to throw the pallet, you might be able to make it to there if they've committed to you and you have enough distance. The only big common tiles you can get on the Macmillan Estate Maps are the Shame Hill / Shamrock and the Water Tower, which is this thing over here, which is a big square. There's no pallet, there's no window or nothing like that. We'll get into what you can actually make use out of this later, specifically against Nurse. It is my belief that this is the strongest tile against Nurse in the entire game, but we'll get to that soon. The only reason I'm pointing out these 2 big common tiles is because it's a stark difference between Coldwind, where you have the Harvester and the Meat Tree on top of Shamrock and Shame Hill, and Autohaven Wreckers, where you have the Excavator, and you also have the Semi-Truck. Whereas this one, all you get is the big square, and you get a Shame Hill / Shamrock, and that's the only type of things that you can get as a Macmillan Estate big common tile. But Macmillan usually has a bunch more of the common tiles in the maps, especially the main buildings are usually very survivor-sided, so it makes up for the difference of not having another very strong structure to be able to go to. So now that we've gone over most of the Macmillan stuff and some of the little details of Coal Tower itself, let's start getting into the common tiles that you'll see on any of the Macmillan Estate maps, but also that you can see on Coal Tower specifically. All right, we're gonna have to load up a few times to try to get this. So this is the simple Pallet Gym. This one I like more and more the longer I keep playing DBD. Now my favorite place to camp on this one is right here. And if the killer is mind gaming by moonwalking either direction and they moonwalk insanely tight, like tight as we can even go, then we're going to be in trouble. But a lot of times if they're moonwalking, we can count on them walking a little bit wide. And if you're moving your feet and they come around either way, if specifically right here, if they come around that way, we might be able to make it to the pallet. And if we're over here at the very tip and they come around this way moonwalking, if we're walking with our feet, we might be able to make it all the way around because they're walking wide. The one thing that you get stuck in is around here, because this is a short one if I'm looking back, and they can pre-swing in here. So if I'm around here and I don't see them coming and I don't see them moonwalking, a lot of times you can even run to this over here, or just leave the tile and let them go in and pre-swing. But that's what these other ones are for. So you can push here and then wait for your checkpoint, same thing, because you can even loop these things, right? And wait for the killer to come in and then make it to it over here. But really what you want to start with your checkpoints is like right here, so you can react in time. And then same with right here. You want to stand right about right here, because they're going to have to moonwalk all the way around and as tight as possible for you to make it here. And that gives you as much reaction time if you're standing here, if they push in from there moonwalking. That's going to be the roughest, because they're going to come around here and it's going to be rough to make it. But that's where you can get lucky sometimes by them moonwalking not as tight as humanly possible. This wall over here you're never going to really use. Every now and then, say you got a trickster or a Deathslinger, that's when you'd want to use this wall, because it's 110 and you have more time to react. But also this wall right here is a little bit too long and you can get hit by a knife, or you can get hit by Deathslinger shot. So those killers, you'd want to loop this one right here. Otherwise, you'd just be looping this one for fun and try to sauce up the killer on the unsafe part of it. But another thing about simple pallet gyms that I like is the ability to sort of make the killer mind game themselves. So say I was running over here and I came in for a second, and then the second I see the killer go to that side, you can just leave the tile, because the killer is going to think that you're going in. But a good way to sell this to the killer that's going to make you think is running towards the wall like this. Because if I'm running a straight line like this, right, and I just go in, they might not fall for that. But especially if I'm not looking behind. But if I'm looking behind myself like this, running in, and then I go in for a second, then they mind game, you can get away. And a lot of times too, if you have a big head start and you're running this way, same thing. You can cut in this way and then keep holding forward and use that as a big line of sight breaker and let the killer mind game themselves a few times, and you can get way further and across to a much safer tile. So I'm running up on the simple pallet gym. This is another one of the most easy to identify because nothing else really has anything. The double windows have that window right there, but once again, you can see that you have that right there without a window, and it has the wall right there that's a bit shorter and a little bit out of place. So when you're running up on this side, you know you're going to have a pallet right there, unless a teammate threw it and it was broken. When you're coming up from this side is another super easy way to identify, because it's just a straight run through right into the pallet. If you wanted to be saucy, I suppose you could try to loop this thing just to get an extra loop before jumping to the window, but that's saucy. But that's another way that you could use to identify that it's a simple pallet. If you're running up on this side would be, I guess, the toughest angle to be able to identify, but seeing as nothing else has this type of formation except for a double window and you see no window there, you know it would be a simple pallet gym running up, and this would just be the unsafe wall that you would want to loop. And if you're coming up from this way, easiest way to tell, because you have the pallet right there and you have the short wall right there, so you know there's not going to be anything else that it could be besides a simple pallet. Oh no, my controller! So my controller does this sometimes right now, where it just like stops running forward when I'm holding forward. No pallets. Oh no! Ah! Is this somebody I know? Who is this? Yes! So this is the LT wall. For anybody that hasn't seen me talk about this for the 9th time now. So I have a very specific strategy when it comes to LT walls, and a lot of the LT walls will have different lengths. Like the ones on Auto Haven Wreckers are even shorter than these ones are. These ones are pretty big even compared to the Coldwind Farm ones. But because of this, especially with the longer L wall, what I like to do specifically is run one way around the L, obviously as tight as possible, run one, and then run to the T. And then when I run the T, I just have the mindset of I'm never going to vault the window. I'm just going to run my tightest routes possible, which is like you turn in towards that corner right here, and then you turn in again towards that corner. Because if I'm running this direction and I get around here and the killer mind games himself, then I can just vault this again. If I vault this again, I'm in the exact same scenario I was before if he's pushing me this way, right? Because he's pushing me this way, that's the exact way we started. And if he pushes me this way after I vaulted that, that's a big mistake. Because if he pushes me around this way, then I'm running to here. Now, a lot of times killers will try a lot of different mind games. So if he had pushed me around this way, and if I push me this way, you got to stay here for a sec, because he might just double back. And if he doubles back and I'm coming around here, then I'm going to get hit. I'm going to be out of position. And if he pushes me around this way, same thing. If I just mindlessly run this way and wait, then he might be double backing there. So a lot of times with these windows particularly, you want to come here and you want to be playing that safe game. Specifically, obviously moving your feet, but you want to be looking there and then there. The second you see him push you around there, then you can come here. Because even if he doubles back at that point, now we're back into the spot anyway where we're running around the T. But the reason you want to push it that way, specifically the L first, because if I run the L first and he pushes me back this way, then I'm going to get the free vault on the T, and this is the way you want to run LT walls, because if he's pushing me this way, then he goes around that way, and then I just get this way, and then he's just going to give me 6 free vaults, and he's going to push me around that way. That's why I like to force it. I run around this way, and when they're pushing around, then I run back to the T. Because worst comes to worst, when I'm running this way, as I said, the first time he mind games himself, then we can go back to square one over that way. And basically, your strategy on LTs is to cover up as many weak spots as you can have. This is the spot that I like to leave up to most chance, because you actually can't see both sides. So usually this, for me, is the most likely spot for me. If I'm coming over here, I'll wait here for a second to see if they push around. If they push around, then I can come. But even if they went there, I'm vulnerable, because even if they went about here, you need to get enough of a head start, because you don't want to get hit before you can even make it to the window. So right here is where I choose to let myself be the most vulnerable, because all the other ones are the obvious 50-50 mind games, and that's where I'd just rather have one mindset. It's just this one right here. Now, the funny thing is, that's the same thing I do when I'm playing killer, is I'll push somebody around this way, especially if it's on the L, because if it's on the T and you push them around, that you're going to be in another mind game. But if it's on the L, you push them around here, and then you double back, and then they're right here, and then they're going to be stuck in that scenario where they either have to do a slow vault or a medium vault, or they have to run a little bit extra distance to try to make it in, and that extra distance could be the distance lost from that one mind game. So that's where I usually choose to leave myself open to most risk, but that guards most of the other spots, and that's why I like running it the one specific way, because it'll sort of fool the killer into thinking they're pushing you the right way, whereas they're really not. And most killers won't let you run the right way, so you might as well prepare for that ahead of time by running the L and then into the T, because you can fool them into pushing you the right way by doing it that way as well. All right, running up on the LT wall this time. So when you run up on the LT wall, this is one of the easier ones to be able to identify from any angle as well, seeing as how you can immediately see we have a window there, and going over here is going to be a window there with this teeny little pointless wall right there that I've never gotten any value out of, but just immediately identifying, you can see it that way. Same with this direction over here. If you're coming up from this side, you immediately see that short wall I was talking about. But on the other one, how you couldn't see anything connected to it. In particular, immediately on this one, you can see the window there, so you know it's going to be an LT wall. On this side, same thing. If you're coming up front over here, you can immediately see a window there, and you know they're going to have the window there, and you can see them both. And then from this side is just as easy. You can't see either window, but you can literally see the T and the L. And this is why you call it an LT instead of a TL, because it's literally an LT. If it was a TL, the T would be on the other side of the L, and that would make it a completely different tile and how you would run it. It's an LT wall, and right here is why. Running up on that, you see the L and you see the T, and you know it's going to be an LT. Hey, double back here. Put shit in between me and him. Alright, attempt number 2, Slingy boy. LT walls. It's gonna end at this LT wall. LT wall is just a time waster. It doesn't save you or get you anywhere. Oh, good shit. Fuck, I'm sorry. I was just holding forward. So next up we have is the lane gyms. So the lane gyms can differ. You can have like this wall with the window can be on this one right here. You can have we actually had the long broken wall with the small one right here that you can run around that way. And it just basically it's like these 4 walls, but they can be flipped. So like this part can be like over here, that break can be over here. Same with this one. It's just you'll have different length of the walls in the different formations, but you'll always have 4 walls. 2 of them at least are going to be broken, usually the ones in the middle. In a lot of times you can actually get this one with the running vault. You can get the running vault here as well. It's just very hard to pull off, but like that, as you can get the running vault. But that one is much more difficult to pull off. Whereas if you got something like this broken wall was right here in front of where that window right there is, then that would make it easier to sort of greed this pallet, say, if you went around and respected, and then you'd run and jump this window. One thing you don't want to get stuck in is throwing the pallet here and just being stuck in between this area, because if you're stuck in between this area, the killer can mind game or push you around unless you're running this way. If you're running this way and the killer's coming that way, you can even pre-drop it if you want. I don't like pre-dropping. I don't like throwing it. But if they don't kick it, this right here is the area where you're stuck, and I don't like doing this. But every now and then the killer's not even moonwalking, and you can just run around and jump it, and they'll walk around again, and they'll just push you around this way, and then they run around, and you can just keep doing it. But you have to get the right setup to be able to do this, because what if we had the broken wall here instead, right? So you can only do that if you have this exact setup right here with the broken wall in the middle and the long wall right here. Now, a thing that's a lot of fun to do with this pallet particularly, especially if you broke line of sight, is a lot of times, especially if the killer's coming from this way, the killer will try to like put the red stain here and then like pre-swing into this thing over here, but they can't see what you're doing. So if I ran around here, a lot of times I'll just use that to break line of sight and then get away. And it pays off so many more times than I would have ever imagined. Just breaking the line of sight like I'm trying to go into that specific pallet and then getting away, because they know how unsafe it is, and there's a lot of survivors that just camp the pallet or just try to throw the pallet for some reason, and they can't even really see which side they're coming from, because you have to be like turning your camera a lot of times, especially if you don't have this slow broken wall. So I think it is a very, very, very valid strategy to sort of just break line of chase the same way you do on the simple pallet gyms, and then let them mind game the own self. The more they mind game themselves, the farther you get away. A safer spot you can get to, which might be in another area. Lane gyms, one of the ideal paths that you would want to be doing, as I said, would be like running this way and then jump this window, see which way the killer pushes you, which way or the other, and then whichever way he doesn't push you, do the same thing. Say he was running this way and respected it, and then you could go right back to the window again if you wanted. Get the running vault. Stuff like lame gyms and the fact that killers have brains makes it so that something like this is not going to be the most safe tile in the world, and that's why we have these little things like breaking line of sight for a second and then hope they mind game themselves. That does work much more often than almost any other strategy in my experience. Here we got a lane gym. So lane gyms are one of the easiest to identify, but also hardest to plan for, because the difference in formation when you get the broken walls and the windows being in different rows. But because that's easy to identify from pretty much any direction. The only time it can be a little tough to identify is if you were coming from this direction, and you could be like, that kind of looks like it could be a long wall, but you know it's not a long wall because you could see right into a wall that way, and you'd be able to see fragments of the wall even if you couldn't see the wall and there was an opening into it, or you could see the next fragments of the wall, so you'd be able to tell the difference between that and a long wall easily. If you're on this side, it's the same as the other side, where you'd immediately be able to tell that it was a lane gym just by looking at it, since it kind of looks like a barcode. And if you're coming up from this side, same thing. There's no other gym that would have just a big blank wall with no other signal sticking out from any side telling you what it would be, so you know that you'd just be running up onto a lane gym. Go. He had a wiggle! Game it. Oh god, he mind gamed. Oh god. Game the pallet, dun 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 dun. I think I wasn't close enough to be able to greet it, maybe. Yay! That wasn't male privilege vault. I'm not gonna make this though. I should have ran the other way. If I had paid for this, I'd... No. So here we have a Longwall Gym. So this one is one of those ones where you're looking to do this whole scenario, same as before. This is the textbook loop. If the killer didn't do any mind games, they vaulted that window, they pushed you around here, they chased me this way, they came around, and they just let me vault again. You do that 3 times, then it blocks, and then you come over here and you'd throw the pallet, essentially, right? That would be if the killer just ran a straight line like an AI and didn't do any mind games whatsoever. So obviously we'll have to do some things that are going to be a little bit different. So what I usually like to think is looping this pallet by itself at first, which makes the killer not think that you're going to try to chain it to the window a lot. And right here is a good spot to sort of be standing at, because if you're right here, you can see the killer come around from a loop, and a lot of times you can or cannot make it depending on how they mind gamed. If they didn't mind game, you'd definitely be able to make it, but that's why I like to stand just about here. Because if I'm here and they come this way, you don't want to be too far away from this pallet over here. And if I'm too close to this pallet over here, then I'm not going to make it to the window over here. But what I'm saying is you want to loop this as tight as possible, running around this way, keeping the camera mostly in the middle to see which way they're coming from. And then if you don't see the killer, right, say that their bloodstain disappears here when you're looking behind you, don't even give them a chance to react, because if they are trying to mind game and meet you there and you don't see the killer, just jump the window. And that's usually my response for either direction. If I'm coming this way and I push around, if I'm coming here and I don't see that and I don't see him there yet, there's no point in standing still. Let me see which way he's coming. No, don't like standing still. Don't stand still in general. I'm standing still here because I'm trying to explain. But you want to be moving your feet, because there is a momentum system in DBD where if you go from 0 to running full speed, takes a lot longer, not a lot longer, but it is noticeable. It takes you longer to get from 0 to full speed than if I'm moving here to full speed. Like, I can literally just react faster, and that might be the difference between the killer comes around the corner and me making it to the wall, or the killer coming around the corner and me standing still and then having to get my speed and making it. I might literally not make it just because I wasn't moving my feet. How I usually do these long walls, as I was just saying, you're looping around, and then when in doubt, when you don't see the killer, just jump the window. And then when you jump the window, the killer's going to do that thing. Not all the time, but some killers will do where they push you to the side to try to suck you into passing in front, where then they vault through, or they're going to melee you. So whenever you're going around this, you have to do these a little bit wide, especially if you haven't seen the killer yet, and then you come around this way. So a lot of times they'll just camp to like one side here, because I can see if they come back or not. And they might be hearing for me anyway on this side over here. So you can just stand here and wait. But you don't want to get caught like trying to push right in front. That's one of the worst things you can do. Killer watch the side and you just run right in front of it, because a lot of times they are going to try to mind game you into either trying to vault or hitting you through this. So play this a little bit safe and then wait for them to actually dedicate themselves. Doesn't matter which side they dedicate to. If they go around that way and they push me around, same thing. If you come around this way, you're up into either this mind game where you can try to hit him with the 50-50, which you're going to have to do if you don't have enough distance to make it to the pallet. Or if you do have enough distance and you're reacted in time, then you can make it back to the pallet, which essentially resets the chase, which is we're doing this thing here. Don't see the killer, jump the window. Same thing. So walking up to this, I know it's going to be a long wall. It does take me till about here to be able to tell it's a long wall, but that's because it's very similar to a pallet window gym is what I call them. They are called Shortwall gyms, but I like to call them pallet window gyms because now there's other gyms that have shorter walls with a window on them. So I think calling a Shortwall gym is kind of inaccurate, because a short wall, does this exactly look like a short wall when it would be that long and have a window right here? Regardless, I still call this a long wall gym because this is the longest wall with the window straight in the middle. Whereas the difference on the other one, it was a little bit more to the side over here on the Ormond Gym. So if we're coming up on this one though, be able to tell the difference between this and a pallet window gym is once we get to here. Because if we get to here, we can see that there's no window there. So we know the window's going to be there and it's a long wall gym. So we can know how to loop it accordingly. If you're looking at it from here, it's one of the easiest to identify. This is just going to be a long wall gym because the window is more in the center than it would be on an O gym, and none of the other gyms have as long and safe a wall, except for maybe a lane gym, and those are nowhere near as safe a tile, and you can see straight through them, which you wouldn't be able to if it was lane gym. Coming up from this side, you can identify which gym it is by not seeing the pallet over here, but you can see the window over there as well, which also confirms that there's going to be a pallet right over here instead of it being there, and instead of having a window right here. And if you're coming up from this angle, it's going to be the toughest angle to identify, because you're not really going to know until you come right around this corner, which I would say is safer to identify it this way, because even if you have the window there, you'd be running towards the window to either fake and get over that way to back to the pallet, or if it is a long wall like we have right here, when I run in, you can either greed the pallet and get back to the window anyway. So if you're running up from this angle before you can identify what it is, I don't suggest running this way, because you'll have to do either a medium vault or some type of juke, or you'll have to lose some distance getting out of position to try to get the running vault. So if you're running up onto this structure and you can see that little window or that little wall over there, so you know it's either a PW or a long wall, I suggest running this way, because you either have the pallet or the window that you're going to be running the right direction for anyway.
I am oddly merciful as well on killer. It's hilarious.
Hold W. Yes! What the F? I know. All right, we have started this up time after time again, and it is not giving me what I call the PW gyms, where you have the window right here and the pallet right here. They look similar, but just slightly different because of where it is. But the way you would want to run that is, since the window's over there, it's similar to this one, where you're running in a circle and greeting the pallet. Obviously, the pallet's on this side over here, and you're keeping the camera in the middle to see. But if you don't see the red stain there, then you would jump the window that's right here. Even if you were running this way and you saw the red stain coming right there, you could jump that. A lot of times you can do a double medium vault. I try to avoid the double medium vault because I don't want to waste two of the vaults and chase, so I'm greedy. And if he read me a little bit when I jumped out and he went around and he's pushing me this way, I would would just run back to here and then greed the pallet. If I wasn't close enough to greed the pallet where I did get a huge running start on it, I like to do this little trick where I'm waiting here for a second, just a second for them to get close enough to respect, and then you can do it again. And the one thing that pushes you into a true 50-50, and I try to not think about it unless I don't see the red stain, same thing, is if I'm being pushed this way. If I'm being pushed this way and coming around, if I don't see the red stain or I don't see him coming back this way, then just jump this window here. It's kind of similar to this way. If I'm running this way around and I greed this pallet here, but I don't see the red stain, just jump the window, because that's the safest of the options. But where you don't want to get caught on those is out here or like back here somewhere. This is one of those scenarios too where if you're right here jumping the window back and forth and the killer's here, it's a rough spot for you to be in. So that's why you want to loop the pallet essentially, with only looping the pallet, and then the second you don't see where the killer was, you jump the window no matter which way you were looping. PW Gym is the same thing as the Longwall. It's just what I was saying earlier. This is a Longwall, but it's hard for us to get a PW Gym recently for some reason, loading up over and over. But you're gonna have the pallet would be right here, and this would be an opening. And if you're running up on it, that's exactly how you'd use to identify from this side. If you're on this side over here and you saw no pallet, and you would see a window right there, so you would know that it was PW. If you're coming from this side, makes it a little bit tougher, but as I was saying earlier with the Longwall, that's why you would not want to run this way and get stuck doing a medium vault or doing a run out of the way just to find out that it was not here and it was the pallet over on that side. So if you're running at it from on this side, the best way to identify, I think, is running this way, because you're either running towards the window if it's a PW. If it's a long wall, then you can just run and play the pallet or make it to the window. And the difference in between a PW and a long wall up here is right when you get to here, you can see that there's the opening there. So this would be a long wall, whereas if you saw a window there, then you cut right at it and get the running vault, and that would be a PW. And also you would know that the pallet would be right there and there would be an opening here. Coming up to a PW from this angle is one of the easiest to identify, because that would be an opening instead of a window. So, and none of the other tiles have anything like that, so you immediately know that it would be a PW you'd be able to run through, and you'd have the pallet right there and you'd have the window over there. You'd be able to identify it just by the opening as well. Oh shit! Have an amazing night, Kai. I love you. Stay positive, test negative, be healthy, and take care of yourself. You know that's the best. Or, oh shit, the most important part. Lol. Oh my god. I couldn't slam it. I tried to slam it in his face. Juke! Nope. Pallet greed. No! And I'm gonna greet it. Yes! Dang. Oh, fuck, 33 that pallet. My sick double vault. So the first one up is the Ormond Gym. I call it the Ormond Gym because this is very similar to that tile that has the skis right here with the pallet and then the window right here. Same thing that has like the mound of skis. They also have it on the Macmillan Estate Map and Mother's Dwelling, where it has those trees coming out here and then it has the window right there. It's pretty much the exact same formation. And that's why I call it the Ormond Gym. Now there's another one that's a new Ormond Gym that I call because you run it similarly in terms of where the pallet and the window is. But that's just in terms of where the pallet and the window is. You do want to run that one much different than this one. This one with the Ormond Gym, same like most of the other ones, you want to be like greeting the pallet, and once you get the killer a little bit far enough away from it, you can even get the running vault from this side, or you can get the running vault from this side. If they're up on you and they greet it enough and like push you around that way, same thing, you can just get the running vault. Be aware when you push around this way, because it can sucker you into going to the side, and then when you run back in front, they're vaulting in front of you, which might not be able to get you to here in time, or you'd get here and throw the pallet. But what you want to avoid doing is not getting there and throwing the pallet, especially if you're going to take a hit. That's what you always want to avoid doing, is throwing a pallet and taking a hit. You basically just want to use this to create a little bit extra distance from the killer, and you can even get the running vault from this angle like I just did. Then you can do this whole thing. So a lot of times they'll sit right here when they walk, and then you're standing here for a sec like this, and then if they are coming around, a lot of times you can see it and react in time to either run this way and try to fake the window, or if you have enough distance when they came, if they were not moonwalking, then you can come back to square one where you're doing this again. What I always try to avoid doing with this is running back here. If you're running back here, you're kind of in a bad spot, and sometimes every now and then the flow of the game you'll be stuck back here, but what you want to do is never just be standing still. If you can't see him and he's not pushing around from either way, just get away from the tile. There's no point in standing still. I think that's one of the worst things that you can do in Chase is just standing still, especially if you don't have eyes on the killer. Now, one last other thing to point out is don't think about this as just being completely empty. Sometimes you're in the scenario where, say, even this pallet was gone already, or you're just getting pushed from a strange direction, you won't make the pallet, and you might not make the window because he's zoned out this way, right? And say you can just use this thing. That you can use this. It's very hard because they're going to know what you're trying to do. But if a last case scenario comes up where this is what you have to do, you can still try to loop that and then jump the window to create more distance. So all hope is not given up, and you can use this sometimes to save your butt. I usually identify it differently from a Longwall Gym because it is a long wall just like that, but this is cut off a little bit to have an angle right here that you can get an easier running vault at than the long wall, since the long wall is not as steep, and then this wall right here will come out a bit farther, which was interesting when you'd have a trapper standing right here with 2 traps on a Longwall Gym. But on an NO Gym, you can just see it from the front differently by the window being slightly off center and that side being a little bit shorter. And if you're looking straight through it, you can see the obstacles right in the middle of those boxes. Coming from this side, you can identify it pretty easily, more easily than pretty much any other tiles, when you can see the window right there, and you can see the pallet right there, and you can't see the window from this angle, but just knowing that you have the pallet right there and all that stuff in the middle right there will identify to you which gym it is. Coming from the back side is another easy way to determine as well, because the only window that would be this short would be like an LT wall, and neither of those are that short on the Macmillan Estates. They're shorter on Autohaven and Coldwind, but at the same time, those are not going to be any of these ones. So when you see something this short and you see crates sticking out from the side, you know it's going to be the Ormond Gym. Coming from this side, it's pretty much the same as the other side, where you can see straight through the middle, except for this side you can see the best. You can see the pallet and the window. So from this side, it's pretty much always possible to see exactly what you're coming up on. Oh, what the fuck? What? No, I wanted to get the stun. Oh shit, this pallet's down already. Yay! I was hoping he would try to mind game at that exact moment. That was lucky. That was good. I thought he was gonna try to go to one side and then swing around. If this wasn't Blight, this would be a crazy OP setup. Damn it. She go up the hill. She didn't. Why do they not go up the hill anymore? Is that the new pathing? Who's gonna make the fast vault would be more beneficial than the window? Yes! No respect! I forgot she was respect! Oh god. So this is what I was just referring to. I call this the New Ormond Gym, which I abbreviate to NO Gym, which then goes in my head to New Orleans Gym. So that's what I end up calling it sometimes. We're over here in New Orleans. But this runs is what I was talking about, similarly to the Ormond Gym, where the pallet is here and the window is pretty much the same type of safe window right over there. And the difference is this one you can loop this by itself by similar to the Midwich tile, where you keep the camera in the middle to be able to see both sides, so it makes it harder for him to mind game. But also, since you don't want to stand still and chase, you can also run around and get back to that window, right? So if I'm running this and I don't know where he is and I'm just going this way and I can't see him, we're coming around, I don't know where he is, then you can just go to the window. Don't stand still and chase and just go to the window. The other wall that I like to use is this one as well. This one right here. Because this one, a lot of times if you go here, you can stand here and use this as a checkpoint and see which way they go. Because if they push off this way, then I can just run towards this pallet and then do what I was just doing. And if they push me around this way from that way, then I can just go to here. So this one is basically just like a bigger version of that wall in the Ormond Gym that's right there in front of it. And you can use any parts of it, I suppose. You could use this part, but this part's more if you're like trying to have fun and see like, haha, the killer lost me and they don't know where I went and I'm trying to get away. Because I really don't like standing in spots like that or standing in spots like this. Same with like lane gyms, because you can't see both sides. You can only watch one side, and you're far away from actually using the pallet or the window. So I try to get away from standing in spots like that. The other one that's really tough is if you're running from this way, right? Say the killer didn't respect, I'm pushing this way, and this is where the 50-50 mind game comes in. They don't respect, and now here it comes. When I do this, here's what I like to do. I call it the don't look mind game, because a lot of times the killer will, because I think the killer is more likely to expect you to hard jump if you're looking straight at the window and then not. Because if you're staring at the killer, I feel like a lot of times they're like, he's gonna juke this, right? So sometimes I will purposely, if I know that I have no other option except for to go towards the window, if I'm zoned out here and I just saw him come around and I go here, I literally just don't even look back and I just run right at the window, because just in case the killer might be like, he's not even looking back at me, he's totally gonna jump the window. He didn't jump the window, and that's the point. Running up on this one looks kind of similar to a lane gym, but you're gonna have the thicker things right here instead of just complete lines like it would be in a barcode. The only other issue that you might have running up on it is knowing if you could run this way and seeing this little slant and then realizing that that's not the window there and that the window would be over there. But that's easily avoidable by when you're over here, you can see that their window is right there above Steve's head. So if you're running that way and you saw the window was there, you know you'd have the pallet over here. But even then, every now and then I do get confused as well running up on this one, and I run here like, oh no, there's not the window. I have to come to the pallet instead. But that's not the worst thing in the world, being the fact that there's a pallet. The only time that's the worst thing in the world is when the pallet's already thrown and it's down and it's already broken. Coming up on this side, it's pretty easy to identify because the window is so far to the right and you got the little jagged over there, which is going to guarantee that it's the NO gym going into the window and having another pallet over there. So from this side, it's pretty easy to identify as well, especially because you can see straight through. This side is also another easy way to identify, because the only other gym that would have any type of setup with like this would be a lane gym, and they wouldn't have windows sticking out like that, at least until things like Nostromo existed. Running over from this way, you would immediately be able to see the pallet and know that you would have the window there, especially since the pallet was there. And running on up on this side, knowing that you have a little broken wall right here, that means it could possibly be a lane gym, but knowing that we have these thicker, different shaped walls in the middle, guarantee it's not a lane gym, and the only other thing that it could be possibly is an NO gym, and that's what it would be. I think it's felt unfair. Oh, it's not paying attention.
We see it learn.
I forgot about the stealth aspect. Oh god.
We just gotta learn how to deal with her.
Dang it. The medium vaulted. No! Yes, he dies! Ah! There's no Pallet here. No! Big Sag. Damn it. Yes! God damn it. Angle, right? I think so. No! No! Ah! This guy has been on the wrong end of those vaults so many times already. Please think I'm gonna loop that. No! So this is one of the newer tiles. This is, I just call these the double windows because big surprise, there's two windows. There's a third wall here, and the third wall is to use if the killer pushes you the way that is the least efficient. Because if we were in a dream world and the killer wasn't mind gaming, they would just push it this way, and they push us around that way, right? Is if they push us around that way, then we can get the easy running vault this way. And they push us around that way, right? Pushing us this way, and then we get the easy running vault again. That's what would be in the dream world. Obviously, killers are going to try stuff, so if they start pushing us this way, what I'm saying is you can either run around this in turning around. But say the killer knows that's happening, so they push you around this way. And if you have enough distance that you reacted in time, then you can run to this wall and sometimes even use this as a window to get the killer to sort of go around that way. Because if they see you running from this and all they saw was this angle and you cut in a little bit to break line of sight and then come back to this one. And then you can use this as a checkpoint because from this wall, no matter which way they push you can get the right window. Because if they push me from around that way, then I just run to this one and jump it. And if they push me, whoops, I did it the wrong way. If they push me from around that way, then I just run to this window and jump it. It's like weird. It's like hard to do until I'm like actually reacting to the killer doing it. And I'm like, oh yeah, then we do it this way. And if the killer comes around and pushes you around this way, then we're in the same position we were before. Killer pushes you around, hitting your checkpoints. So I don't want to go over checkpoints too much because a lot of it just comes with experience of finding what checkpoint is the most efficient and stuff like that. But that's why you just got to wait for the most part. And because a lot of times the killer can push you here and then double back and hit you before you made it to the window. Same thing if the killer pushes you around this way. So you want to wait just long enough where you can see the killer still and then come around here. But that's why this big wall right here exists, because a lot of times killers aren't just going to push you from one window to the next in the exact way I was saying. And the second they don't, that's when you go to that one. So say I was around here, just like we were doing before. He pushes me and he vaults that window. He vaults that window and now I'm standing here. And then I'm just going to wait and see which way he pushes me around and I'll decide accordingly. He pushes me that way, I'll go to that window, and he pushes me this way, wait for him to come around, and then I'll jump this window. If I jump this window, the shorter way for him to go would be go around that way. But if he goes around that way, I am back to looping it the way I'm supposed to loop it in the first place. Coming up over here, we got the double windows, and how I identified this immediately was by seeing this window right here, because it looks like it would be a long wall, but it's not long enough to be a long wall. And also when I'm coming over here, if I can see that that's right there, I can see there's another wall on the other side of it there, and I can see there's a wall right here on the other side, which I know where the window is because of this lip coming up right here. There's gonna be the window there and the other window there, which I can identify by that little lip sticking out this way. Because if I was running up this way, this would look pretty similar to a simple pallet gym, right? But except for the fact that I could see the window there, because this right here is pretty much the exact shape of where the pallet would be right here, and this wall would be a little bit shorter and you'd be looping this part like the simple pallet gym. But we know it's not a simple pallet gym because we have the window right there on the right hand side. Coming up from this side is another easy way to determine, because we don't have any other gym that just has a straight walkthrough with no side blocking us from the top. A lane gym doesn't do that, Longwall doesn't do that, O gym doesn't do that, none of those do that. So we have a gym right there, plus we can immediately identify the left side that looks like the short side of a simple pallet gym, and we'll know that we'll have a window right there as well. If you're coming from this way, you wouldn't want to run to that window, you'd want to run straight and jump that. Now, coming from this angle seems like it'd be the toughest to identify, but same thing, that you know it wouldn't be a simple pallet gym because by the time you got to here, you would see this window on the right hand side and you know it wouldn't be a simple pallet gym. The spacing's obviously a little bit different as well, but when you're first starting to see, that might be hard to differentiate, but that would be a little bit farther back if it was a simple pallet gym as well. And if you're coming this way and it took you this long to right about here to identify that the window was there, it wouldn't be an issue anyway, because you could just jump this window and turn it back around. Because if the killer was pushing you that way, then you could push right back into the window. And if they pushed you back around that way, then you'd either get into that 50-50, which you won, you'd push it back around that way and then loop it normally. So either way, you could identify it at the last second and still be able to loop the killer accordingly. You got me. The fuck is this tile? This is such a weird tile. Run it with this. Well, we got kind of a godly ass setup here, which is hilarious. I will not lie. Oh, this is bad. Back to the other tile. Yay! Oh shit. I thought they left me. I fucked it up. Yes! Yes! God damn it, that's what I thought. Did you get... No! Oh, fuck. I'm not. We got no penis, though. Which is hilarious. Oh god, they're gonna get me here. Oh my god. Yes, dude. Oh god. No. Where's the PP head? Here we go. There's the PP head. God damn it. I was hoping that he was going to push in. Dang it. I got hit here. Probably try to go mind game that one back and forth. Alright, I gotta go stream. Bye, everybody. Like, I hated that. So now I'm gonna do it after the streams. Dang. Yay, someone got We got the OPness over here. Okay, so we call the OPness. So now that we got all of the regular common tiles out of the way, now let's go over the Macmillan Estate common tiles. So the Macmillan Estate common tiles have a lot of these little wood crates and box looking things, and they're going to be having a pallet. Now this would be extremely overpowered because this is definitely one of the tiles you can get, and you would not want to loop this side unless you're having fun against a huntress or something like that, because you could get hit over this without ducking. But say they were super patient and they were just pushing you around, and they had done that in your first chase and you're stuck back here, that's when you'd run around this thing. This one right here is the main culprit on all the Macmillan Estate maps of having what we like to call an OPness. Even this by itself, not even having a pallet, is strong enough where I can connect it to this window. He pushed me around that way, and then I came around here, and then I just go back to the window. So just be aware of this specific tile that is so safe and so strong that a lot of times you can chain it to something else that is nearby, because the closest the killer can get is be right on the opposite side of that, which you can get like 2, sometimes even 3 loops on if the killer's just walking around. So this one right here, be aware of projectile killers. Obviously you can duck to avoid them, and it's big enough where if you duck you might get some distance. But a lot of times it's also big enough that if I started ducking here, say, right, and then you run around this and then duck. But if they were very patient, like Ralph, the world #1 huntress, is the most patient ever when it comes to doing this thing, you will end up getting hit or trying to have to juke it before you get back here. This is a very safe pallet by itself. You don't want to be looping this side unless you're having fun and want to be saucy and keep extending and greeting the pallet over and over, because killer can pretty much lunge all around, though. They'll just look that way and then lunge this way. And how do you react to that in time? So the main thing to think about with this tile is just look for it being chainable to something else. He had a wiggle. I probably should have thrown that, but let's see if I can get another loop out of it. Maybe they'll respect it. Yay, get another loop out of it. No, I won't, because bloodlust. Yay, now I'll get another loop out of it. That's good shit. His fang is hilarious. Oh, G. Thing. Bubba! Is he M1? No, Bubba! No, that wasn't very... That actually makes me want to do the cold tower. I might move cold tower near the topper of the list. Because it's the same main building anyway. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. Run back to the main because I'm so... I fucked it up. Dang. Oh my god, and I lost all my sprint burst because of a fucking... Remember what I just said about in the looping guide? You don't want to stay at one tile, you want to leave when you get hit. And that one fucking made me. I fucked it up. Dang. Oh my god, and I lost all my sprint burst because of a fucking... Remember what I just said about in the looping guide? You don't want to stay at one tile, you want to leave when you get hit. And that one fucking made me. At that time? He must have like Spirit Fury or something. Oh no, my controller! Bam 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 bam. So this is another one of the just most standard tiles that you're going to see on pretty much every Macmillan Estate map. I just call these the safe crates. Because a lot of times, unless it's a projectile killer, these are insanely safe. Safer, it's pretty much impossible to mind game. They're bigger than they appear, so killers will respect it more. And a lot of times, killers will even respect it, even though it's a safe pallet. They can't really be mind game that easily, even if it's dropped. This one would be the better spot if the pallet was already dropped for you to go around. But even then, if you won 150-50, you just lost so much distance. And this is a big tile to lose a bunch of distance on, and you can hit them with a crouch juke, right? So they lose distance again, and then you keep going around. Because crouch jukes work a lot more against something like a pyramid head, where you're running out a window and then you crouch it because they're waiting for any movement for them to be able to swing. But if you're in that scenario where they can barely see around the things anyway, and then you crouch, they're just waiting for one movement, and even that slight hesitation might get you around into a safer time. And then if you hit them with it a few times, then they'll think twice before looking for just one movement, and then they really have to use their mind. But this is just a pretty standard tile you're going to see on most Macmillan Estate maps. And if it's a projectile killer, you gotta be, it's fun, but you gotta be real tricky trying to keep this spot in between you and the killer's line of sight. I know there's an LT wall here somewhere. What's up, Taglines? How you doing, dude? I already threw that pallet. I think there's a pallet over there though, right? There is. And greet it. No. Yes. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I didn't even get the running ball, dude. What the fuck is that? Oozler. Yeah, my bamboozler. Yay. No. Tuck you for like 8 years or something. Dang. Did you see my crouch check? It was sick as fuck, wasn't it? Totally worked. I actually might have worked. I might have made the pallet. So this I call the 4-piece because this is very similar to the 4-piece on Cold Wind. Cold Wind has the same thing where it has 4 little walls here that goes into a pallet that can spawn, and one or the other can spawn like there, it can spawn there. But the 4 pieces do help if you're zoned out, because a lot of times I'll see people doing is if I'm running to this and the killer is between me and the pallet, say the killer's over there and they're going to beat me to this pallet, that's why you want to stop on something like here. Because if I stop here, then the killer will have to be forced to come up here and push me which way? If they push me this way, all the way around, then I can make it to the pallet that's right here. If I'm standing this way and the killer pushes me around and I react in time, then same thing, I can make it to the pallet right here. So a lot of people just think of this as one simple little pallet, but a lot of times you can waste killer's time and even get to a safer area, right? Because if the killer greeted it and went around there and he's chasing me, then I can go back to this one just for fun, and then we can have some fun walking around this way or the other way. And if this was close enough to this gym, I can make it to the gym and not even have to throw the pallet, just by using the pallet greed to get from one piece of the 4-piece to another piece. So say it was right here, you greeted it and you're working your way around, and then I did that, and now I literally just got away with the pallet while using the pallet without throwing it to waste more of the killer's time and get extra loops, and then get to a safer spot that has a window that I can use over and over without it going away. Other than that, it's just a pretty standard tile that has a pallet right here that you want to greet as many times as you can until you're on death hook. This is a rough spot I'm in here. Almost. This is why I don't want to learn Blight. I think this is the hardest killer to learn. I think Billy is just the tiniest bit harder to play. Because once you get all the Blight techs, maybe. Oh my god, I fucked up. That might have helped me because I fucked up. Lol. I love playing against good Blights though, they're fun as shit. Yay. It's so close. I really wonder if he can't get this. No! Now that wasn't very nice, Bubba. Now, was it? Dang. Ah! No! Dang. I was hoping. No! Oh fuck, here we are again. The same spot. No! I still don't want to throw it. I probably should have thrown it there, to be fair. Go back to this one. This one's better. Dang. They don't want you missing out on like gifted blood points, essentially, or rank reset. They don't want you being like at the cap and you not knowing and then signing in and, oh, well, you know all that work you did last month? Too bad. You get none of that. They don't want that to ever happen, so that's how they stop that from happening. Haha! So this is the safe tree rock. This is about as safe as a rock that you're going to get on these maps. The only unsafe part would be right around here if they switch, but there's a lot of things you can do. Is like you can see through between the pallet. There's that little crack between the rocks, so you can have a little bit of a jump start. And same thing with this. If they're a shorter killer, you can see right through that little hole in the rock over there as well. So you want to be keeping your feet moving as always, so that way you can react faster. And it helps you avoid doing one of these big turnaround things where somebody pushes you and you turn around this way, you just lost a little bit of distance. That's why you want to keep your feet moving. The momentum system, and to avoid one of these big goofy turnarounds that push you back the other way. There is a little cubby in here that you can crouch in. Sometimes it can be necessary versus a Blight or something, maybe even an Oni. If I'm running around this rock and he's going to get me, you can tuck in and crouch if he's in his melee and then doesn't get it, and then you can get out. Sometimes you will be blocked in here, but even then you wasted a little bit more time than just getting hit in the first place, so it's still worth it. And this side right here is only you wanting to loop this if you want to feel saucy. You're literally only going to do this if you're like, ooh, let's go have some fun on the hard unsafe side to greed the pallet. Or if you had something like a trickster or something and you had one knife left and you knew if you came around he was going to hit you on this one last knife over here, that would be a funny time. But even then, he could still hit you over this spot right here. So you'd be playing very, very hard game by doing this. This is more just I want to have fun and loop this. You really are just going to be looping this part right here. All right, here we go. Ready for this shit? Yeah! Oh, fuck. He stays there. Yeah, here we go. Alright, here we go. Ready for this shit? Yeah! That's why I said ready for this shit. So this is the double tree rock. This is like the most safe of the rocks in terms of just standard loopability, because this one right here is perfect against projectile killers. Huntress, I think, can hit you through that little tree, but same thing. It's hard for them to even get in that position anyway. You could just like stop at the tree and then wait for them to come around and then go and greed the pallet again. And then this is the one you would want to be looping against most other killers that are not projectile killers, because they wouldn't be able to hit you in this little long shot right here, and it's much safer since you have a longer rock and longer line of sight going this way. It's harder for the killer to mind game you one way or the other. And then this spot right here, it's rougher in terms of line of sight, but you also have the pallet right here. Pretty much every filler tile, you never want to start the chase camping the pallet. You want to start the chase on the opposite side of the tile and force the killer to loop you around one way or the other, and then go to the pallet. Because if I start the chase at a pallet, I'm either gonna have to drop the pallet or try the funny mind game. I do like doing this mind game where you stand here for a second because they're like, he's totally gonna drop the pallet, he's camping it, and then you don't and run away. Sometimes they mind game themselves so hard they walk around the entire rock because you were just standing there waiting for them and then to go. Generally speaking, you're not gonna start the chase there. That's something you would do in the middle of the chase. You'd want to start on the far side of the pallet on any tile, the far side, and then force the killer to push you one way or the other, so then you can game the pallet and have somewhere to go to be able to do it. Oh no! The extra tree. No, I didn't go for it. Damn. Please don't double. No! That's what I was gonna say. Please don't double back. Damn. Good turn. So here's another one of the tree rocks. Now, this is one of the pallets that I usually talk about the only time that I would get value out of windows of opportunity, because this is one of the pallets that's actually kind of hard to see. If you're running from the killer from this angle and you can't see if there's a pallet there, and you can't count on it because you run over here and then, oh no, there's no pallet. It was over there, or wherever it spawned this time. It was over here. But this is pretty equal. You can loop both of them. This is more of the safe one against M1 killers since you have a longer line of sight and it's harder for them to double back. And right here you can get caught, but at the same time you can see, and you can drag them closer since it's a longer rock, so you can wait for them to get even to like here before. And if you get to like there, it's hard for them to double back and beat you to the pallet if they're going to. Now this side right here is the more fun side to greed because there's no line of sight. So if you're against a projectile killer specifically, or a Demogorgon, something like that, this is the one you would want. Pinhead too, because this one's a little bit too long if you're going to run against a Huntress or a Trickster, a Slinger, something like this, because this long shot right here, a Demogorgon, provides just too long of an opportunity for the killer with an anti-loop power like that to be able to hit you. So if it was one of those killers, you would want to loop this rock instead. Yay. Oh, fuck. Hey, found another one. Oh, he got me. Yes! He got away into the wall. That fucking sucks when that happens, though. I'm not gonna lie. Damn it! They like knew I was gonna throw it. What if I just pre-dropped the absolute shit out of this one? Alright, now I gotta get away from basement. 'Cause now I can go down, which is fine, but I have to hold forward. Even there might be too close. Uh-oh. I'm lucky as fuck. I feel like I should have got hit there. Don't throw it. Yay. Oh god, he hit me with the mind game. Yay, it worked. I did respond in time. Damn it! I should have thrown it. The furry fox. Yeah. There we go. So now that we're over the Macmillan Estate filler tiles, let's go over the Macmillan Estate Common big tiles, which are pretty useless in comparison to the Coldwind Farms big common tiles and the Autohaven Wreckers big common tiles. So first up is Shamehill / Shamerock, which is not just for this, but they're always different. Almost every single one of these has a way to get down without stagger. Some of them don't, like Irie of the Crows, I believe, does not. But what I mean by getting down without stagger is there's a spot where you can find, and you can walk down, and instead of doing this, where I just bonk and then have to run away, there's a spot where you can get down. Yeah, there we go. There's only one spot that you can get down without staggering on this one, and this one is pretty tricky. You have to come over here, find this rock, run down this way, and then if you see where I am right here, if you run and hugging to the left, there is a slight downward that can get you down without staggering, and you can get away. Luckily on this one, too, it's at the very tip of everything, so you can get down without losing any momentum at the far side. Different than some of the other ones where you have to be like here-ish, which doesn't get you much distance from the killer. Because with this one, you can wait and make the killer push you all the way around up here, and then walk down there without staggering. Now, the big secret to these that you really want to be looking out for with these, and you'll be looking out for this every single time now on every single map when you see this, is when you have a Shamerock that spawns close enough to a window. It could even be a window like that. Close enough where you can not only jump down and vault without stagger, because it's close enough that it cancels your stagger when you land, but you can actually get the running vault, which is insane. But you have to have ridiculously broken RNG for this to happen. So say I was running down this way and I had that window over there, so I had that window right here in front of me, I could jump down and not only not stagger, but I would immediately running vault since it was close enough. You have to be spamming the vault button because you're going to get the running vault prompt when you were in the middle of the air, and if you're spamming that, it'll completely cancel your stagger and let you vault. Other times you'll get a window close enough where you can cancel your stagger, but you might not get the running vault. So let's say it was right there and I went this, and then I had to take like 1/2 a step to immediately cancel my stagger. That still saves a bunch of time, and that makes this very useful coming around here. But where you really want the window to spawn, specifically on these shame hills, is not at the back. A lot of people think you want it to be spawned at the back, but it's too big of a rock. If I came around here and then I jumped whichever one I had and he pushes me around, I have to run all this way for the killer to be catching up. And I might not even make it back to the window to get the running vault if I do it that way. So the god setup that you really want to see is if you have the long window to the side here or to side here, because this way, if I jump this and I just running vaulted and the killer pushed me around this way, not only can I come back around and the killer has to chase me up this ramp, but I can run right back. If they push you around the other way, if I did the running vault and then they push me around this way, then it's even easier. I can just run right back up this and get the running vault again, which is insane to think about because you're getting value off of this hill right here and the killer can't actually do anything about it because you're getting a running vault without staggering. And the killer has to chase you up here. They can even double back, but it doesn't matter. Then you get the running vault and they have to go around, which would push you around that way. And then you do the same thing as you just did. So the god setup that you really want to be looking for with Shamrock is going right into a window because that is broken RNG. And when you get it, you better thank the entity. The bot blew the skill check. Oh god. I didn't think he was chasing me. Damn. This is go back. No, nice. Can't make it around again? That'd be hilarious. I don't think I can. Yes! 3 vaults off of that shit. Woo! Of fucking Shame Hill. Dude, look what I got. 2 Shame Hills and a fucking... Oh my god. This is the RNG I get on Survivor. I got 2 Shame Hills and a Water Tower, bro. So the last Macmillan Estate big common tile is the water tower. This is another one of those things like the logs where you're only going to get true value out of it against most killers if it's close enough to a window. We didn't get a window here, but that would be one of those things where I could loop the killer 2 or 3 times around it. They can't really mind game unless they're going to mind game here. And if they mind game here, they can't because I just waited at my checkpoint to pull them around. And then you'd have a window right here to jump, right? And no matter which way they push you around on the safe window, you walk around and then you do the same thing. You'd walk around the water tower because you can, as long as you have any type of object, doesn't have to have a pallet or be a loopable tile by itself, but as long as you have a big object in front of a safe window, if you have a big head start, you can just make the killer chase you a few times, get even 2 or maybe even 3 loops off of this by the time he's going to catch up. And then when they're going to catch up, you might even sucker them into a swing, which would give you even more distance when you actually jumped into the gym. Now, the big special thing that I have with this particular tile is I think this is one of the best tiles in the entire game to use against a nurse. This has worked so many times against a nurse, and I know if it's a comp nurse, there's pretty much nothing you can do loop-wise that's going to throw them off their game, and the counter to that is basically just have a swift and do gens. But that's why nurse needs to exist in that state, is because 50,000 hour swifts that no other killer can beat except for nurse or blight. The thing with this one is if you're playing against a nurse and they're still learning, this is the most abusable tile in any of the maps for the reason that you can see nurse over almost this entire thing. The only time you can't see nurse is when you're back here. This is the only spot you can't see the nurse at. The second I come back around here, I can look over this and I can see where nurse is, and nurse cannot see us for most of this. The only place nurse can see us is this area to here, really, because once we're back here, nurse can't see us. They might be able to see us for a little glimpse there, but still can't see us. So we're not playing any mind games on this tile against a nurse, but a nurse has to guess completely where we are, throwing it into the dark and land exactly where we are. So this is one of those ones too, and they're not going to catch up to you, so you can still pretty much just stay on the complete opposite side of them. And when they have to guess when they blink through, that you're going to be exactly where they are. And it's easy to break line of sight too if they blink, and you can even have stuff like this to help you if they were right there. And they can even get auto-aimed into that, or something like this they can get auto-aimed into. It's just kind of a big nightmare for nurse. And like I said, obviously if it's a comp nurse, there's not going to be much you can do against that in general, but if it's a nurse that's still learning, for some reason this is just like the most abusable tile in the game. This would be a good scenario of the water tower where you could do 1 or 2 loops around the entire thing and then use that long wall over there. So if the killer was chasing me, in 1, you're obviously looking over, see which way they're going, be aware of the double back in this specific scenario right there, because when you can't see them until here. But if the killer had to chase me around the entire distance of this, and then I have to jump the window, and whichever the way if the killer pushes me around that way, he's going to have to deal with it again. If the killer pushes me back around the other way, he's going to have to deal with it again. We're just running around, especially if the killer mind games himself, and then we're going to be all the way back to square one. We're going to push around this way and jump the window. And say same thing. Say the killer pushed me all the way around that way. We're just doing the same thing. Running around the big object and then jumping the window. But you have to have the good RNG to spawn for you to be able to do something like this with the water tower. Oh god, here we go again. Nurse number 2 tonight. Let's hope it doesn't get to 5 like those other bunch of nights. Run the square. Oh, fuck. Back to the OP square. Oh shit. David. Oh shit. Let's run the other way. It's the infinite square. Oh my god, she got stunned. No. Did she get stunned again? Oh my god. The OP square. It's infinite, don't you know? No, David. Should use the OP square. Yeah. The square OP. That's why I loved playing Survivor Lotus. I've been telling people you can literally fucking be looping the killer and eating at the same time. Because you don't need to, like, actually do that much. Yay. Why is the square so fucking strong against Nurse, man? It literally is. I've been telling people about this fucking thing forever. This is gonna be like a huge part of the looping guide on this map. Because it's like, this is like literally the 10th nurse. The thing is, like, you can see Nurse over like 3/4 of it, and she can't see you over it like at all. So she like really has to guess. You know, there's like no hints. You're just like, fuck, where is he? You know, like turns Nurse into a pyramid head. If it makes sense. Oh! Almost got me. It was almost. Yes, to the square. The holy square. Oh! I don't know why, but I think this is like one of the best tiles in the entire game to play, to use against Nurse. It's just like the most consistent tile in the whole game. Like, why does it work this well? This shit is hilarious. There we go. I thought she was just, he got right there. Back to the square. The evil square. I'm telling you guys, this square is like the worst thing for Nurse. If she double back, this would suck. I don't know why, man. This fucking square is hilarious against Nurse. Their thing is hilarious. I have a few videos running Nurse on this fucking square thing. It's always been loads of fun. Here we go again. He's not looping tight enough. You still gotta loop tight, mate. This is why it's funny to loop against Nurse on this thing. Dang. No! Yes! Oh shit, I boosted it though. She helped me and I boosted it. No! Time for the evil square. I don't know why, but this is just like the best thing in the game against Nurse. She doesn't want to do it either. Like, that's the funny thing about it. Eating. I'm next to. He's gonna commit because he has enough juice. Oh, God damn it. Run to the square. Oh, God. No, he got me. I'm dead. Haha, I made the vault before he could get me. Let's go. Oh! Just tinkling. So this is another one of the Macmillan Estate semi-common tiles where it's between this shame hill or the water tower. This time we got a shame hill and the log pile. Now the log pile is pretty much completely useless unless you have a tile close enough for you to be able to either vault or greed the pallet. Now this time we have something semi-close enough, but you wouldn't be able to do it over and over as if you had a strong window. And you can get mind gamed here because I'm running around, they can close distance right here because I can't literally cannot cover both sides on one. So you want to come over here, and if they're not here, you're playing this game. And you can get mind game here is what I'm saying. But that's why you need something close like this to be able to make it to. Same with this side. If I'm over here and I use double backing or something, I can just make it right over here. But what you really want with the log pile is to have a really strong window, because if you have a really strong window, say the window's like here, or even it could be right there, and you could jump this window and then wait for the killer to push you around. If it was a Longwall, if it's a Longwall gym, it's long enough where you can literally come all the way around. Killer's pushing in, has to chase you around the log pile again, and you can make it around the log pile back to the same window and do it again. And like I said, you can do it with pallets. It's just pallets, since they're smaller, you don't immediately get a large increase in distance between you and the killer. The only distance you get between you and the killer is how hard they respect it. Whereas a window, when you jump it, you immediately get the length of both sides of the wall. Not together, but whichever side he's going to push you around. And once he does push you around, if you're ready for it, it is the full length of the wall. And the full length of the wall is long enough for you to get all the way around this again and back to the window. But if we had this tile, we would only be able to loop it like once or twice and then go and greed the pallet. But you still could initiate chase from that and then get him to loop you around once. If you never mind gamed at all, literally didn't moonwalk or anything, you might be able to get 2 loops out of it, which is wasting the killer's time on a completely useless pallet, which is a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. And then he's close enough to get you, but then you greed the pallet. Haha, got him. Just wasted a bunch of time walking around the log pile, and now we're doing a regular tile anyway. That's how you get value out of the log pile. And you can see through it at some parts, but it's more like on the ends. You literally cannot see it here in the middle. So this is just like asking to get mind gamed on if you're standing there. So now let's do Killer Shack. Killer Shack is very simple, in my opinion at least, especially if you use the back part over here. And there's 8 million guides talking about the best checkpoints you can do, and a lot of Killer Shacks are different. If you're talking about Garden of Joy, actually, you can see through that window even better on Garden of Joy, the one that's at the front. I usually like to initiate chase from Killer Shack right here, as far as you can stand to the left, because as far as I can stand, where I still have a little sliver of screen, I can see them. Even if they moonwalk, I'll have enough distance. Obviously, you'd still be moving. I'm just standing still to explain stuff, because you would lose less distance if I was moving and then they push me, because I would get to full speed faster. But you want to be standing right here, and sometimes you get the bonus if you initiate chase here that they don't know where you went, and then they think you leave the tile, and you're like, all right, they left. I won chase because I went to the back instead, and they didn't see I was here. But I like initiating here because I think this is the safe spot. If you initiate it in the middle of Shack, you're going to end up doing one of those vault scenarios where it's either a 50-50, which they can mind game out and then back in and then hit you because you're forced to slow vault, or you have to throw the pallet, or you're forced to loop one way or the other, which pushes you into another 50-50. So I like to just cut all that out and start back here. So this way, they can literally not get a head start on me because I'm looking through this right here. This window right here, you can see through the door of Shack. That's why you want to stand here, because you can see on the right if they push you, and you can see through that doorway in Shack right here. So there's like no possible way for them to get a huge head start on you. So if they push around from that way, because that's most of the time the way they will push around, that's when, if you have enough of a distance, or if it's an M1 killer like Trickster or something, you can do 2 loop, right? And then you can stand here and see if they try to mind game again. But say they're just doing it. This, what I usually tell people is to loop a little bit wide, because if you run right at Shack, you're stuck in this 50-50 mind game, and what I was just talking about. From stuck here, you're going to end up doing one of those medium vault scenarios if the killer hits you with the mind game, where they went out for a second and then backed up right back in, because it will freeze you here so you don't running vault, and then you're going to get the medium vault and you can get hit most of the time there. So what you really want to do to avoid that when you're running around Killer Shack is you run it a little bit wide, because if you run it a little bit wide and they come in, you might still be able to get the running vault in time and not have to be in the position to throw the pallet. You can always just throw the pallet as well, but you really don't want to throw Killer Shack pallet unless you're on Death Hook, or a scenario presents itself like you're playing against Hag or Trapper in basements here. Like if this was a Hag or Trapper and I was going to go down, you better believe I'm going to throw Killer Shack pallet. A lot of times you would just eat the down even if you were going to go down, or just keep messing with the windows. But where you'd want to do is if you run a little bit wide, you're looking this way, and if you don't see the red stain, you're still running a bit wide, and you would still cut in towards the window just in case they came back in, because if you don't come back towards the window and then they come back in, you're not either going to get hit trying to make it to this 50-50 mind game over here and getting off, where they can get you around the other way, or you're going to end up throwing the pallet. But if you run it a bit wide, if they do that mind game, and if they don't mind the game themselves, and all of a sudden you get here and you see them through the window, then you can just get pushed this way, and then you're in this type of mind game, which you'd want to run not boxy. A lot of times people run boxy, where they run like out here, and then out here, a straight line, and then out here. But you lose some distance if you do that. You want to run 2 lines at an angle. You want to run a line like to here, and then another straight line to here, because that is so much shorter of a distance doing it that way than running out here, then out here, then out here and in. You want to run 2 straight lines instead of 3. You'd run out this way and then back in this way. That is a much shorter distance than doing the big box method. Now, what you want to avoid getting pushed into, and this is exactly why you want to loop the back of Killer Shack, is when you're getting pushed this way and the killer comes around and you get stuck in this 50-50 mind game here, where the killer's there. Because if I do this and the killer doesn't get mind gamed hard enough, I'm not going to be able to make it back to that window in time, right? To be able to, even if I made the running vault, I might still get hit if they didn't get mind gamed hard enough. So this is kind of one of those lose-lose scenarios, because if I do this and I running vault, they could just push around this way and hit me before I get back around there. So that's what you're trying to avoid, and that's why you want to use the back of Shack. And the other scenario you're trying to avoid is if the killer is right here, and same thing, because if I jump it right here, I'm not going to be able to make it to the pallet before the killer makes it. And if I push around this way, I'm probably not going to make it, since I have to run a little bit out of my way to get the running vault again. So those scenarios are the reasons why you want to loop the back of Shack pretty much the most often, and especially if you're initiating the chase on Shack. Other than that, you just want to state your checkpoints whenever stuff is happening, obviously, because you don't want to just like blindly run, don't look behind you, and just be like, oh, he's here. Obviously, you'd want to get your checkpoint around first, and that specifically helps where if the killer is vaulting, because a lot of times might double vault, they'll vault once, then double vault again. They may even triple vault, right? Because then they catch you out where they're already halfway through their vault animation, and you come around like this. Uh-oh, it's too late. So when you're coming here, the first thing you want to whip around is your camera and see if you can see the killer there if they're vaulting. If you're going in this way, whip around your camera first to see if they're vaulting, because you do not want to get caught up all the way out here. Uh-oh, and they're mid-vault. That will slap you. My dumbass. And then ran around so she can just run straight up. She didn't, though. That's sad. She's 110. I can make it all the way around the back. Yes! That's why I run it wide. She vault? It was like maybe she vaults. No! Oh, I was not paying attention for this. A bamboozler? Was it bamboozler? I can't. No, it wasn't bamboozler. Yes! Yeah, bamboozler. Oh! They make it like harder to. Oh, fucking A! Good shit, Bill can get that last gen done. Use the tree. No, he has the add-on. I would have gotten hit by that before, but that's actually good. If fast slots were like that, I'd be fine. Yes, I will. He's like, you toxic male survivor. Drop it at 5 gens. I'll fucking do it. Time. The second I go to leave. Like on the exact same gen, really? Ah! No! Da-da-da. It's already gone, dude. The fuck? I think I wasn't close enough to be able to greet it. Maybe. What if I just pre-dropped the absolute shit out of this one? No, Pallet. This is sad. Do I have Shag Pallet though? I think I do. Will I get there in time? I will. Interesting. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to get there in time. So now that we're got everything else out of the way, it's finally time to talk about the main building of Full Tower. This is one of the more interesting mains in the game because it takes a long time, if nobody tells you about one specific trick that can help you, for you to realize that you can get insane amounts of value off of not even just this stairs window here, but also if you get this window over here. Before we get into the actual inside itself, let's go around some of the tiles that can spawn on the outside of it. So the outside of it, the red cars, these all loop pretty much the same. And these are really strong for Billy and Bubba that you can get curved on. Bubba, I'm pretty sure, can hug this insanely tight, specifically over this hood. They like can't bonk. Obviously they can bonk here, but they can hug this car specifically insanely tight. Now, in this case scenario, we actually had something close enough where we wouldn't even have to throw this pallet. If we had gotten a pallet here, we could just loop this and then jump the window because we had the OPness. As it is, this is just basically another tile that you can greed to make it back to the window. If the killer goes all the way around and I was running, I might even make it back to this window just because the killer respected it. Same with this one right here. If I'm being chased from this way, and I come around here, and then the killer respects it, and I have this window over here, I might literally just make it back to the window because the killer respected the car tile. Besides that, pretty standard car tile that you're just going to be running around, greeting the pallet as often as you can unless you're on deathlock. But even this one, if you throw it, it's kind of the damned if you do, damned if you don't throw it, because you're going to get stuck in this greeting back and forth, and even if you got the mind game where he respected it, and I'm running this way, it's a long way before I'd make it to anything safe, especially in this scenario where the first place I'd make it to is the stairs window. Why does he keep changing directions? Oh, fuck. Yes! He's trying to get bloodlust, I think. Yay! The stall tech works. Oh, damn. God damn it. But here he comes. Oh, boo. Damn it. Yeah. No, I ran into it. I was gonna try to get the pickup. Channel point, right? Because I just basically have it set up and it's on like a... I want to say it's on like a 12-minute cooldown. Greed the pallet. Yes, it worked. He can slide this though. Damn. That's not a good tile I run against Blight, unfortunately. None of this is... What the fuck is happening here? I think he gets the hit. He did not. Would not make that again. He respected it. I was trying too hard to watch the Bubba. A fucking... Look at this guy doing pirouettes. He still gets me with the saw. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yes! Here we go. I wasn't gonna throw it down. I was like, if he gets me, he gets me. No, I forgot it was Pinky. You were supposed to go for it, main. And then run over here. He's a patient man. Pre-drop. Yes! But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get hit by those. Yes! And then greed the pallet. Oh my god. I'll look this. I'll get away. This is a really fun tile to greet over and over, especially for some reason if it's already pre-dropped, because then you can just run this big line and then watch the killer mind game himself, and then we're this entire distance away from each other again, and then we can just run a few times, then turn the corner again, looping as tight as possible. It is slightly weird shaped. I stubbed my toe there for a sec. It is a great one to greet as well, just like all the other ones, because 9 times out of 10 the killer is going to respect this, because there's no way I'm going to let this guy get a stun on this one, even if I'm on the outside, because I won't be able to really get many places, because if I have this pallet here, I'm not going to have that pallet there. Now, this pallet does absolutely stink. If you're against a projectile killer, this is pretty much a death sentence. So if this is the only thing you have against a projectile killer, I would literally even think about running to the Z-wall instead. Which Z-wall, you can get some type of values on, but really a Z-wall, you're just going to run in circles and let the killer mind game himself once or twice. And if you get to 3 times in a row, a lot of times I'll try to jump on the 4th one, because sometimes you can get him with the jump on the 4th one, and then you just get some meme value, but you're never going to run a killer for 5 gens on a Z-wall. That's just more, I have no other options, and now I'm out here on a Z-wall. Mad at that. You'd probably do the same shit I did and be like, oh, it's funny as hell. Oh, damn. No! They did not go for any of my jukes. Yes, let's fucking go. That's fine. Now, another thing in particular with this window, specifically the stairs window, a lot of times you can get this pallet right here, which we did this time, which you can loop normally, and a lot of times you can get extra loops in mind games because the killer knows that you're going to try to connect it to this window over here, so the killer will double back here, and then come again, and then they might double back there to cut you off at the window, and now you're getting extra value, and then you have to make them commit to you, or they're actually chasing you in the circle, because if they're just double backing, the killer has a momentum system too, and that's why you want to keep your feet going, because if the killer doubles back, they lose momentum for a slight second, and if they did, then if you're moving your feet, and then you can react in time, and eventually they're going to have to commit to you to looping you one specific direction, no matter which direction that is, and the second they do, that's when you jump the window, right? And then you could run around, or you could run up the stairs and do the drop vault again if you wanted to, and same thing if you're running this way. I know it's at an angle, but eventually he's going to stop mind gaming himself, and he's going to have to commit to one direction, and same thing once you finally got him, because he's going to be mind gaming hard, because he knows you're going to try to do the window, and then once you finally got him to commit, that's when you jump it. Other than that, pretty standard pallet that you can use either side of. If it was a trickster or a slinger or something, you had better luck looping on this side until you got to this thing right here. But it just blocks a lot of the line of sight right here, whereas if you're on the other one, you'd get seen over in between that, over this, through that. It's also a bit longer, so I'd get hit here all the way around the side and then through that again. So if it was in those scenarios, I'd probably use this one instead, which has a little bit of a rough shape over here. You can stub your toe on, as I have been doing, but you still want to be looping as tight as possible at all times, despite the risk of stubbing your toe. Sometimes you gotta play some type of smart, but the game we already got a gen done. He has one hook, might as well. Yeah, all around the world, all around the world, all around the world. Does he double back? Oh, whoops. Around the world, around the world, around the... What? Why? Why? And then Noed, slap! This is what I mean. I feel like I'm like the luckiest survivor ever. You know how many of my friends have, and like everybody telling me on Survivor, they just keep getting camp tunneled. And I just keep getting like funny ass matches. Oh shit. He's just having fun. No. That should be a bamboozle. Bamboozle. Bamboozler. No. Bamboozler. He knows I'm gonna try to vault that window if I go either way. Dang. Oh shit! That's where my plaything is though. No, I'm going down! Maybe not. Alright, chase me, main. Good shit. Oh shit. Good shit. The longest chases I've ever had were like fucking 10 minutes where 2 gens got done. You know, that shit's hilarious though. I'd much rather have that. Damn. He didn't go for it. God damn it. Thought I could make it once. Okay, so there are 2 windows that can spawn down here in the bottom of the main. There's one that can spawn here, which is much stronger from the upstairs and not that strong once the killer has broken the doors down here, because it's pretty much just going to end up in a 50-50 mind game one way or another, especially if they're coming and pushing you from this way. Then you're in kind of that shack 50-50 mind game you don't want to be in. And this one right here, which isn't quite as strong from the upstairs vault, but this one right here is very, very, very strong running around this way. Because if I run around this way and if I have a head start, and the killer's pushing around. This is one of those amazing windows, too, if the killer's tunneling. And you get around to here, you want to stay around here. Because if you stay around here, obviously you keep your feet moving. But if you want to stay around here is perfect, because if the killer did mind game themselves, or they were moonwalking, or they tried to see if you're coming around and they didn't, but then they push back this way, you might have broken line of chase. And if they broken line of chase, they won't be able to see you around because of this wall and get another running vault. I got a medium vault there, but if you're a little bit more patient, you can get the running vault. Other than that, you're just going to be running around this way. Every time. That's what's good to have one of those pallets that you can greet as well. Just to run right back here. When you cut in, you always want to be thinking about your looping. Your pathing as tight as possible, which would have been in this way. I went a little bit wide that other time to show the difference. But you would never want to cut around the crate. You'd immediately pick this point, then to this point here, then this point here, then this point here, then hugging the wall, and then right into the stairs window. Because if I'm looping this, right, if I'm walking around this way and just looping this nonchalantly and this loose, the killer is going to gain a lot of distance on me if I'm just looping like this. So no matter what you're doing, you always want to pick the spot that's sticking out, this corner right here sticking out, loop it around this corner here, sticking out, sticking out, sticking out here into the wall, and then hugging the wall. And you can run at angles on the wall without losing distance, but it's a fine line because you don't want to stub your toe from looping too tight and do one of those numbers. He knows I'm gonna try to vault that window if I go either way. Dang. Oh shit! I was trying too hard to watch the Bubba. A fucking look at this guy doing pirouettes. He still gets me with the saw. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yes, here we go. I wasn't gonna throw it down. I was like, he gets me, he gets me. I like to play Bubba that way a lot of the times. Not all the time. Sometimes you gotta play some type of smart, but the game we already got a gen done. He has one hook. Might as well. Yeah, all around the world, all around the world, all around the world. Does he double back? Oh, whoops. Around the world, around the world, around the... What? Why? Why? And then Noed, slap. This is what I mean. I feel like I'm like the luckiest survivor ever. You know how many of my friends have, and like everybody telling me on Survivor, they just keep getting camp tunneled. And I just keep getting like funny ass matches. Oh shit. Hey, he's just having fun. No. That should be a bamboozle. Bamboozle. Bamboozler. No. Bamboozler. Jump, yes. Ooh, yeah. You already know, man. He's got the lusty blood. I'll try it anyway. I think he has me. No, he did. God damn it. Well, that's Sedge. Didn't even get the running vault. We got no penis though. Back to reality. Up there goes gravity. Up there goes whatever. Alright, chase me, main. Good shit. Oh, damn. I juked it right into the souse. Right into the souse. No, I got stuck. I'm losing ground. Oh, shit. Good shit. That's the thing, though, is, like, I've had, I don't know, like 6 or 7 5-gen chases, and none of them are anywhere near the longest chase I've ever had. All the longest chases I've ever had were, like, fucking 10 minutes where 2 gens got done. You know, that shit's hilarious, though. I'd much rather have that. Damn. He didn't go for it. You were supposed to go for it, main. And then run over here. Back towards fair and balanced.
I'm also getting better at all playing killer. Like I'm noticing like all these like coping powers.
I missed. What the fuck?
As survivor.
How did I miss? It was right in front of me. That's hilarious.
It's just Pyramid Head game. This is a what do you think of Pyramid Head?
Dang, if I hesitated, I would have been defeated.
Pyramid either dominates you or you get fucking destroyed. As I think there's no wing.
Right down Santa Claus Lane. As long as my head. Let's leave this dumbass shit. Good shit. I guess it wasn't some dumbass shit after all. After all, was it? No! He got up there fast as fuck. Holy shit! I'm going in the basement. Oh no, I'm not. What the fuck was that? Good shit. Oh my god, I'm boosted. No, Booba. Booba. Oh, she saved the best for last. She gets me here. I don't have anything safe left. And I'm gonna get put in the basement. No, she doesn't. It was very close. Can I make it again? I couldn't, just barely. And you drop vault. No, she slow vaulted. I was gonna do the drop vault. I have the distance to run the window again, though. Oh my god, except for this fucking thing's away. I swear to fuck. I was like, do not get it. It's the same one! She fucking hates me, dude. That's the same one I ran her into the first time. Swing. Yes. No! No! Now, up top, there's a few things you can do here depending on which window you have, but first I want to talk about these crates. A lot of times, there's a generator that will spawn up here. It didn't right now because I'm playing as one survivor and 2 troll generators spawn on the map since we're in a custom game. But a lot of people just think of these crates as something that you can just hide behind to waste some of the killer's time. But if you can do this every now and then, you're in the position to have this perfect distance using these crates where if they're on the opposite side, you can game this, wait for them to push you back around, and if you have the stairs window, make it down the stairs and make my running vault. Now, it's a tough case scenario for that to happen, but think of if you were playing against a 110 killer, like a trickster or a spirit. I had this work one time against a spirit, where it was a 110, so it gave me a little bit extra time when they were trying to push me around, and then eventually just pushed me around and got right down. But having something like a blank object like this, especially if you have the stairs window, it literally gives you enough space if you can game it right to be able to get to that running vault down there. Do I have the stairs? I want to get value of the stairs. It's like almost impossible to get value of this up here. But it is funny when you do. Yay! Oh god. And then I fucked it up. And then I fucked it up! God damn it! Dang. I was hoping she would double back. There was no double back to be had. You didn't make it though. No! God damn it. That worked. That's hilarious. No! Dude, it wouldn't let me turn my fucking camera. I got no sprint burst because I couldn't turn my camera. Like... No! Tower. I'm going down. I want to get value of this thing upstairs, though. If I'm going down, I might as well go down and trying to fight the good fight. No! She won one double back, and I can't make it. I can't get by her. And my fucking finger slipped off. That was lucky. The other thing you can do up top is drop vaults. This is one of the most useful tricks you could use on Survivor. You can do this on a lot of different maps. A lot of times when you stagger, when you jump down from a great height and you can't move, right? It takes a few seconds for you to be able to do anything. But if you're close enough to something that you can vault, you can cancel your stagger and immediately vault through the window. Now, the difference between this stairs window and the other window over there, which is much better to do it, is if you're going to try to do the drop vault from here, the killer's going to push you around. And if you wait too long, you can't do the drop vault because they can just slide down and turn around and hit you in the air. And with this one particularly, the killer can just double back down the stairs, because if the killer's right there and I do the drop vault and I vault, and the killer can just come right down the stairs and I'm right in front of them. So that one's more the killer hasn't done it yet, or if I'm standing here and the generator's over there and the killer goes up to kick the generator, and then if they're coming around this way and then they see you here. If they see you here and they're coming around this way, that's when you would want to drop vault. And specifically on this stairs window, you want to drop vault to the left side if you're looking out and to the right side if you're looking in, because this one doesn't line up perfectly like the one over there does. So this one you have to run. And if you're running as well, it's a good idea to walk over the edge. So say I was running this way, and then I came here, walk over the edge, and then hold down the sprint button the second you start falling through the air so you can vault as fast as possible. Because if I'm running here and I do a run, I might not... Look. Because I was running, I got a little bit too much distance and I wasn't close enough to cut off my stagger. So you can run over here, then walk, then hold sprint, and then jump. Uh-oh. Yay. I got free escape points. Hit him with the drop vault, the drop vault. Hit him with the drop vault now. Oh my god, we just got fucking double rated. Oh, vaulted. No, I fucked it up. Yay! It didn't matter. Cuppa, were you playing? Yeah, he had to have been. Cuppa's a killer main. Don't jump it, though. Why do I feel so slow? Nice and slow like. Can I make this or I get hit here? Oh, God. Oh, I thought they go for the tail whip. Damn. Oh, my God. Please chase me. I look like a dumbass. Don't I look appetizing? Yes, I do. Chase me. Do you have the thingy? Oh god. Ah, it's bigger! I'm not gonna do that. Oh god, this is terrible. Yes! Fucking saved. That's what's so funny about it. How did he not hear that? So this window by itself isn't the strongest window in the world, specifically because it can have these doors broken. Once these doors are broken, then you're kind of stuck doing this 50-50, especially if they go around this way, then you're up in this 50-50, which is like that shack 50-50 that you kind of want to avoid. Same with LT walls when they're on that side, and you're going to get stuck doing this thing or trying to juke it and get away for enough. But even if you juked it and got away, you'd have to run long to get the running vault again. So this one by itself is okay. It's really strong when this door is not broken. When that door is not broken, you can just jump this, right? Push around. Run around the long way. If they didn't break the door for some reason, the pallets here, you can greet it and they respect it, and you can get an even another vault out of it just because they respected the pallet. Here we go. I don't think you can hit me through there. Thank you so much, Banshee. Oh, shit. Less stressful? Are you talking about Crucible, or are you talking about, like, doing raids and shit? You can make this, right? You should, yeah. Unless all of a sudden Hyper Bloodlust kicks in. Which it looks like it did, a little bit. I'll make the pallet, though, I think. No, I won't! I'll greet it. Yes! The greed did not work at all. God damn it. The #1 booba in the world. Oh my god. Does he have Boozle? He is not. That's fine. Oh god. Look at that pallet. Pre-drop. Super skill. I get hit with the whip here, right? No! I did in the worst way. Dude, double back here. He did not. I have him far enough, right? Yay! Dog pile!
Hell yeah.
Four out.
4 out incoming, just doing 4 gens instantly.
Yeah, you're just doubting.
I'm not.
Why do you gotta be such a
doubting the
doubter
lore.
for? I got hit
Debbie
here, I think,
Downer.
actually, right?
I'm a Debbie Downer.
Didn't. Oh my goodness. They are no longer in the ways. You guys ready for this fucking fair and balanced gameplay again? Oh my god, I fucked it up. I don't know how to fair and balance it.
Don't throw the pallet. Yeah, same thing I did last time. Yeah, break that window, dude. There you go. No, the pallet's down. I did not realize. The fuck? Boo. Interesting choice. Yeah! I have nothing else for me, though. I didn't teabag you. I'm sorry! I like teabagging, though, just on purpose, not an accident. That's strange. You should probably break that door, bud. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get hit by those. Yes! The crouch juke fucking works! It's been a long time. Yes! We just won every fucking 50-50 ever. It's fucking... I was about to say it's Christmas. It's not. It's 4th of July! Oh shit, here he comes. As I said, this one's on a limited timer because they break that door. Until you find out the secret of this window. The secret of this window is one of the most useful tricks you can use in any survivor game. What you can do is you can cancel your stagger completely by just jumping down and immediately vaulting. So if I go here, just bang, vault. And this one is much better than this one over here, the stairs window, because the stairs window, if you're going to do that, the stagger cancel, which we call as a drop vault, you'd be right there and they could just go right back down the stairs. Whereas this one, they're forced to come all the way over here. They come all the way over here and then bang. And they either jump down, and if they didn't jump down and you see they didn't jump down, then you can just make your escape again, run a big lap, and then run back up the stairs. So, because if they went all the way down, back around the stairs, then you can run all the way back around, because they had to take the long way going down. You do have to be aware as well about the drop downs up top, because they could stay upstairs and sucker you in and then drop down up there. But a lot of times they don't. You're just going to come back around, and then do the same thing. And if I'm running this, you don't want to run full speed at it, because if I run full speed at it, then I'm not going to be able to cancel my vault in time. Cancel my stagger in time. I'll cancel a little bit of the stagger, but what you want to do is run at this and then start walking, and then the second you're done walking, hold shift and then spam the vault button. Because when you're walking, you won't get far enough away to not be able to cancel your stagger. So you're running towards it, right? Obviously, you're looking behind you, because if I'm looking this way and they're not up, I'm not going to jump it and then just have them double back and get hit. But you can be running this way and then walk over the edge and then turn and spam while holding shift, and then you can immediately drop vault. That takes this window from okay and on a timer to insanely strong, because you can literally just stand over this window waiting for them to come over and then cancel your stagger by walking over and then holding shift and spamming vault, and there's nothing they can do about it. If they jump down over here, you're close enough to be able to double vault or do anything, and even then it would have taken them too long, because they would have had to double back all the way down and over here. Or if they went over there and tried to swing in, you would have already done it. You'd have already been on this side over here, and they would have swung in and wasted even more time, and you would get even more distance to be able to do it again. So that really is the strongest window on this map, but you have to run upstairs to be able to do it. Other than that, if you're just going to run downstairs, this is the strong one that you want to see. I didn't even see which window I had. The drop vault. Remember that drop vault I was talking about earlier? I know I think this is an exploit. So this is why. I don't have any examples of this, so I actually have to use these examples here. But you guys see what I'm saying? This is why I think this isn't... But it's been in the game for years, and people use this and say, this isn't an exploit. That's what it feels like, but that's not what I mean. Dang it. Dang, she just walked by 2 of them. Oh, she didn't. The one was on the other side of the wall. Alright. So I'm gonna run long way. Oh, she got hit too, though. But I think I was kind of blocking her, obviously, but I was injured. Because she went to do it the first time. Spec. Let's go do it again. Watch her have ran up here. No, she didn't. She was healing. No, I fucked it up again. Why do I keep messing it up now? That's big Sag. Enters mode where I'd be talking trash if I was the killer. Oh yeah, run to the only fucking tile you know how to run, huh? I don't think I'm gonna make it though. I think they make it to me in time. No, I fucked it up. That sucks. I thought too much about the tail whip. And that one fucking made me.
Isn't that fair and balanced, everybody? This exploit. I call this an exploit. Everybody else thinks this is fair and balanced. Tell me that was fair and balanced.
Oh no! No, fucker!
They are no longer in the ways. You guys ready for this fucking fair and balanced gameplay again? Oh my god, I fucked it up. I don't know how to fair and balance it.
And then it was really hens, actually. Hens and odds. You see how fair and balanced that was? I'm sure the killer thinks that's totally fair and balanced. You know what I mean? Like, he even swung and missed. I cannot see him. Now run tail between legs to the main building. The fair and balanced main building. Super fair and balanced. I should have did it. I thought he put it on the inside, bro. Every decision I made this game backfired. That's so sad. Tile up. That's also why I keep all the other tiles in there. It's this one. I just fucked up awfully. I tried to jump over the edge. So the last thing I want to talk about is OPnesses. So we call these OPnesses because I wanted to look at something like this. Say there was a pallet here and going into that window right there. The first time I looked at something like that, I said the OP level of that is huge. Like the level, it's over 9,000, stuff like that. A lot of times you'll say like the highness or something or the sourness. But instead I said the OPness is huge, and all we heard was the OPness is huge. So now we call them OPness. Plus you're a dick for running it. But basically what that is when you get a pallet or two tiles close enough together that you can literally chain. That forces the killer to not only loop you one way, but then you can jump right into another tile over here. The most common culprit specifically on this map or any maps on Macmillan is if you have this tile. This is a huge tile, and then a lot of times there's a pallet here, and you can just run that 2 or 3 times, and then once the killer's finally caught up close enough, if you're running that way, you can even have them respect it and make it back to the window. And then which way they're pushing you doesn't matter. They could even like vault, and if they vaulted, that's why it's an OPness, because they vaulted, hit you with the mind game right, and then there's a pallet right here that they could respect, again, coming around here, and then loop back and jump it this way. Now the cool thing about stuff like this is if you have a big tile in general sitting right in front of a window, you don't even need a pallet here, because if I'm standing here and force the killer to start looping, the distance of this exact tile directly across that is between me and the killer. So you're gonna have to force him to get closer, and he's gonna have to push you around and eventually get closer, which means he's gonna have to dedicate to one side, and that's when you end up jumping the window. And then you do the mind games, whichever he was talking about earlier about not doing it, and then whichever way he pushes you, it's a lose-lose, because now I'm back on this thing and with this insane amount of distance between me and the killer. And this works with anything. If you have the big logs, you can have the water tower in front of a window, but if you have a strong window, if you have any type of object on any map, you can have haystacks on Coldwind Farms, literally anything. Cars on Autohaven Wreckers. It's just if you have a big object, the bigger the better, close to a unsafe pallet that you can greed and let the killer mind game themselves so you can run back around and start from square one, or a pallet where they have to push you around, because they literally have to push you around. They can't go through unless it's nurse. And then once they do push you around, they're gonna have to deal with the window. So literally always be looking for just like a big object to be sitting in front of a window or a pallet that is very unsafe. A lot of maps, if you see an unsafe pallet, like extremely unsafe, why would I even go to that? There's going to be a big object close to it that you want to loop a few times and then push into that unsafe pallet. Didn't give me a PWG. Oh my god. Look at this OP setup. Can you imagine? Look at this crap. We were just talking about how, like, it doesn't matter if the killer tries to mind game you. Oh my god. Look at this. And you push into this. You know, the killer mind games and he pushes around that way. You jump the window again. That is dumb. Oh my god, look at these freaking setups. This is like another OPness. Look at this right here. This is exactly what I was talking about, where like the killers will lose-lose. Like if they push you around this way, then like I don't even have to cut in towards the pallet. I can literally just loop around this way. And if it pushes you the other way, then you're closer to the pallet. Like if it pushes you around this way, then you can cut in towards the pallet. Like it's so broken. It's just literally like a lose-lose for the killer. Come on, man. Look at this fucking setup. I know he has bamboozle, but it doesn't even matter. Now I'm going to test his saw. Just like I said. Damn. And then I can jump the window again. Look at that. Fair and balanced, right? I'm sure this killer thinks this is totally fair and balanced. Godly ass setups, man. Yeah! Let me get the greed to work. I'll stay here. I don't give a shit. Look at this fucking setup. How do I not stay here? Oh my god, that was my third vault and chase, so it's actually going to be down for a while now. Yeah. Yeah! Strike 2. Oh, damn. He could have got me with the saw there, actually. No, he's going to leave me. I want him to vault this, and then just run side to side. I mean, I said he could run it all the way across. I wanted to try it. And then it opens up this one. And then it opens up this one. Look how dumb this RNG is. Oh my god. Ah! Opens back up this one. RNGesus. Do I make it back though? He's got bloodlust now. Ah! Oh fuck, I went the wrong way. He can't walk up it though, so it doesn't matter. Remember this loot, Bubba? I was gonna double back. He no double back. Yeah, thought so. I need a double vault. Yeah! Good shit. Damn it, I should have thrown the pallet. Damn it. I forgot. Let's do it again. Yes! Let's go to the side. Yay! You didn't get me in chase yet. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, I'm in chase though. Boo! No! Damn it! I'm trying to sucker him into another bamboozle. Quickly jump off. I unhook. Ooh, no, I don't know how to throw pallets. Yeah, I got the running ball. Woo! Fair and balanced. All right, do I have the distance? Because that was the game right there. Do I have the distance to make it again? Yes! I don't think I do this time though, right? This setup is so dumb! Oh my god! He double vaulted. Does that actually get me? It does! Good shit! That's cool. Good shit. I should have ran the other way. Shit, there's no pallet here anymore though. Yes, the running vault. That's what I was fucking trying to get earlier. But I couldn't get it. Please don't double back. Yes. Alright, we got the juke. Oh shit. Yeah, the running vault again. Let's fucking go. Ah! Yes! Woo! God damn it. They're gonna get a hit on me. Doo-da, doo-da. They're gonna get a hit on me. Oh, da doo-da day. Oh, da doo-da day. Oh, da doo-da day. I got bloodlust. Holy shit. Oh. Okay. Sounds good to me. God damn it. If I'd have gotten the fast vault there. I want to chain it together. It will happen. No, it won't. No. No! I was even thinking, please don't double back. Where's the PP head? Here we go. Here's the PP head. Oh, there was a close one. We got the OPness over here. Okay, so we call the OPness. Another thing I want to talk about is throwing pallets when necessary, because I always talk about greeting the pallets over and over and over, and you can literally play this game for a long time. You can go a whole week without throwing a single pallet and still loop really well by just greeting pallets, and especially when you get something that you can chain them and get back to the window. But at the same time, it's a good idea to throw pallets if there's somebody down or if there's somebody hooked. So say I was looping the killer right around here, and say there was a hook right here, and this was a safer pallet, and I needed to throw this, but I was injured and I might go down. If you're healthy, you can obviously just try to waste as much time and then get away, unless the killer is just sitting there letting you waste his time so they can low-key camp. You don't want to do that either. At the same time, if you're injured and somebody's like down here and somebody's hooked right there, that's not the time to be like, haha, watch this. Because if that backfires, you basically just ended the game for everybody else in the lobby. Because now the killer can just stand here, staring at you on the ground, and being at here between anybody else that can make it from him to the killer, and now he can just guard these two bodies, and essentially has two hooks that he can camp at once. And now it's going to be on the other two to try to solve that, and they're going to take hits and go down as well trying to solve that, since all the pressure's in one corner. So scenarios like that, or scenarios where if you're at Killer Shack and it's a trapper or a hag or something and you're about to go down, you might as well just throw that pallet instead of ending your game, which would end everybody else's game in the lobby. That's when it's time to throw those pallets. I didn't even juke the window. I shall has my lusty blood. Yay! Just like, I'm just fucked. Like, no amount of any plays I would have made would have saved me here. Fucking A, this is bad. God damn it. He's a patient man. Pre-drop. Yes! But it doesn't matter. Another big thing you can do on literally every map is holding forward. If you're going to try to get away from an area and the killer's going to chase you, you don't want to just loop this, right? Like, haha, I'm going to loop here, but there's like 2 people down over here. I need to hold forward, and if the killer hits me, I can just keep holding forward. And you literally run the killer for like 30 seconds, which isn't a long time, but it's not nothing. A lot of times that's longer than if the killer hits you and you just stay at one thing. And that's the other thing too. When it comes to holding forward, that eventually is going to have you going into 360s. You never want a 360 when you're full health. And this is the big reason why. If you're 360 when I'm full health, I could be still in the middle of my spin when the killer hits me and I disoriented myself right here, and then I wasted some of my sprint burst by still spinning for that half a second, wasting my sprint burst, and then I could sprint into this rock here because I'm disoriented from doing this. So you never really want a 360 unless you're full health. A lot of times too, if I know I'm over here, say, and I'm running towards this and I'm like, and about here, I notice I'm not going to make it to that window without taking a hit. Screw it. Change directions. Take the hit purposely. Because if I'm running that direction, then I'm going to be forced to loop over that way. But if I know I'm going to take a hit, take the hit with purpose, and then use the sprint burst to make it to main, because then they're going to have to chase you over the strongest part of the entire map, which would be a humongous mistake. Another thing you can do to make holding forward more achievable for a long period of time is using tiles to let the killer mind game themselves. Say I had a decent amount of distance here, and I even jumped the window, but say this wasn't the edge of the map, you would just hold forward, but you would be at an angle so the killer wouldn't be able to see you. And you want to keep those objects in between and let the killer think that you're going to mind game yourself. This doesn't work if you haven't looped them at all, but it works twice as good if you've been looping and being pallet greedy early, because they're just going to think you're going to go try to greed the pallet. And then you hit them with the let them mind game themselves, and then they pre-swing in and you're just holding forward. Now, lane gyms are a huge benefit to holding forward in that way, and simple pallet gyms, because it has that one unsafe side that a lot of killers will try to mind game themselves into, like this pallet over here. If I was running this way, right? Say I was coming from this direction, which is the edge of the map, and I was just trying to hold forward because there was a bunch of pressure there and I'm trying to lead the killer elsewhere. You'd run in this way, break line of sight, and let the killer mind game himself a few times, and then maybe even pre-swing in, and then I got even farther away than what was going on over there. And the same thing with simple pallet gyms. You can just run in, break line of sight for a second, and then keep the line of sight broken and let the killer think that you're going to loop it hard. But you have to cut in at a really steep angle, because you have to hard sell to the killer that you're going to be looping that. And then once line of sight's broken and they can't see you, let them mind game themselves as you make your sneaky escape. Literally just running a big ass fucking circle. Can I get this circle again, dude? And make it to the pallet? Dang. Oh my god. I shouldn't have thrown it. I was just afraid I was gonna go down. They already knew my trick of... It's time to get ran on the square, dude. Run, Nea. I'm running the square. Nea! Oh my fucking god, Nea. Is dead, right? If you find Hatch, you let the killer decide if you get Hatch or not. Oh god. Oh god! If you find hatch, you run past it. Alright, so they wanted hatch. You let them decide. No! Wanted to juke it. Can I make it? Swing! No! I don't think I would have even gotten the fastball. I didn't run wide enough. Oh my god. There's nothing in the middle. Oh, is there nothing in the middle? I was the one doing all the looping. I threw Shack Pallet down. Run! What are you doing? Oh my god. Oh fuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My pathing was bad there. That's what I was hoping. Oh! No! It's a travesty. Team AFK was nice. Thought he might have tried to shoot it through there. Fine. I'll run over here. This is a terrible spot to be in versus a slinger, but sure. Hold W.
Is your W key glued to your...
It should be. I'm still holding W. My god. Just takes so much skill. Took me years to perfect holding forward.
I know, right?
OMG. So cracked. Because they're good killers with no perks and no add-ons. Because you can whittle down the... Oh god, look at that slow vault. Genius, right? Does he break this door too? Aw, they're gonna break that door. There you go. I'm gonna run around again. Oh god. I'm a dumbass. Haha. I'm still zoned out though, right? Which fucking way is she coming from? Oh god, she's right there! No! So, in review with Coal Tower is left up to some serious RNG. Sometimes you can get absolutely broken setups on this map, and sometimes you can get something like this, where you have the shame hill / rock into woodpile, into kind of a dead zone with a one pallet all the way back there, into another shame hill with rock. Now, this is not the best RNG, obviously. And you can do some things with this where you're running around the wood pile and then jump the window, but even this window is not big enough for you to get enough value to go back around this. But a lot of times you can get some broken RNG in that back corner, back in there sometimes you can. Killer Shack is going to be there in version 1, version 2 it's elsewhere, but in both versions have all the same tiles. It's just they're moved around. The building is the exact same. This building is one of the most fun ones because you can do all the drop vaulting. That cool trick with the windows, especially the stairs window, a lot of time you get this tile that's close to it. And it's a pretty big map, but you do want to avoid 3-genning. You can end up 3-genning yourself over there or even 3-genning yourself over here. But for the most part, the meat and potatoes of this map is going to be right over here in that corner over here and in the main building. This is a very strong main building. You'll have a little bit over there, but not too much in terms of being able to connect stuff together. And you'll have some type of stuff in that back corner. This was bad RNG this time, but a lot of times you can get stuff over there as well. Maybe even close enough to connect into Killer Shack. But that's why I like to have as many examples as possible as well of different RNGs that you can get so you can see how to connect it together. And it's not saying that this is the only way to do it, but this is doing something that did also work. So all in all, I do think Cold Tower leans on being a more survivor-sided map, but that can be left up to some RNG as we were just talking about, where if you get a big dead zones over there, it's a little bit worse, but you can still have a ridiculous main that you can do the drop vault on, and then there's not really anything many of the killers can do against that, except Nurse. But Nurse can do everything against everything, and that's why Nurse has to exist in the state they're in. But that's basically my take on all of Cold Tower. There he is. Yes. This is like the most value I've ever gotten out of this main building. You can get the running vault there. That's funny. I'll do it this way, though. This way's better. Did I make the window? Please! Oh my god, he vaulted it. Is he gonna bloodlust me? Is that what's gonna happen here? I can make the window vault from this angle, right? I think so. No! No! Yes! Fuck, I ran that way too wide. I just sacrificed some good old-fashioned distance. I still got out of chase, though. That's funny. I will make it again. Now this is pod racing. I'm gonna greet it. I couldn't greet it. He was gonna get me. I'm thinking he's still walking around. I was right. I'm not gonna make it. No. Yes, I will. No, I won't. Oh my god. I have nothing left though. No. You double back. You double back. No, I double backed. No. Good shit. Bill can get that last gen done. Good shit. Let's go, Bill. Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna make it. He's so fast. No. Trying to work my way back to that original OPness. Maybe I can juke this. I'm just throwing it down because I'm on death hook. Said fuck it. I want to make it back. Shit, there's no pallet here anymore though. Yes, the running vault. That's what I was fucking trying to get earlier. But I couldn't get it. Please don't double back. Yes. Alright, we got the juke. Oh shit. Yeah, the running vault again. Let's fucking go. Ah! Yes! Woo! Now we got another OPness. No! No. He knows I'm gonna try to vault that window if I go either way. Dang. Oh shit! I was trying too hard to watch the Bubba. A fucking look at this guy doing pirouettes. He still gets me with the saw. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yes, here we go. I wasn't gonna throw it down. I was like, he gets me, he gets me. I like to play Bubba that way a lot of the times. Not all the time. Sometimes you gotta play some type of smart, but the game we already got a gen done. He has one hook. Might as well. Yeah, all around the world, all around the world, all around the world. Does he double back? Oh, whoops. Around the world, around the world, around the... What? Why? Why? And then Noed, slap. This is what I mean. I feel like I'm like the luckiest survivor ever. You know how many of my friends have, and like everybody telling me on Survivor, they just keep getting camp tunneled. And I just keep getting like funny ass matches. Oh shit. Hey, he's just having fun. No. That should be a bamboozle. Bamboozle. Bamboozler. No. Bamboozler. Yeah, my bamboozler. Yay. No. Good thing. Booba. Is he M1? No, Booba. No, that wasn't very nice, Booba. Now, was it? Dang. Ah! Oh shit! Have an amazing night, Kai. I love you. Stay positive, test negative, be healthy, and take care of yourself. You know that's the best. Or, oh shit, the most important part. Lol. Oh my god. I couldn't slam it. I tried to slam it in his face. Juke. Nope. Pallet greed. No. And I'm gonna greet it. Yes! Dang. I shouldn't have greeted it that time. He must have like spirit fury or something. Oh no, my controller! So my controller does this sometimes right now, where it just like stops running forward when I'm holding forward. No pallets. Oh no. Ah! Is this somebody I know? Who is this? Yes! To the LT wall. Oh no! The extra tree. No, I didn't go for it. Damn. Yay, someone got the furry fox. Yeah. There we go. I need to get another stun. I was gonna try to get one there. Oh, what the fuck? What? No, I wanted to get the stun. God damn it. Well, that's Sedge. Didn't even get the running vault. We got no penis though. Back to reality. Up there goes gravity. Up there goes whatever. Team AFKing was nice. Thought he might have tried to shoot it through there. Fine. I went over here. That was a terrible spot to be in versus a slinger, but sure. They double back here. Put shit in between me and him. No! Time. The second I go to leave. Like on the exact same gen, really? Fuck, I'm sorry. I was just holding forward. God damn it. I was hoping that he was going to push in. Oh my god. All of this. I'll get away. Get away, 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 get away. Watch me get some log value. Except no, I'm not going to have anything close enough for me to loop. Alright, here we go. Ready for this shit? Yeah! That's why I said ready for this shit. Use the tree. No, he has the add-on. I would have gotten hit by that before, but that's actually good. If fast slots were like that, I'd be fine. Yes, I will. He's like, you toxic male survivor.